Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview, this time covering Spotlight Series Americas 2024. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied by Sarah, the one of the players for the Cloud9 X Shopify Rebellion squad that came off of a Grand Finals loss to G2. Sarah, thank you so much for taking the time, and of course, gotta give my uh, commiserations on that finals loss. But still, having to be in this kind of event, what's going through your mind? How are you feeling coming off of that match?
So sad, honestly. I mostly I just wanted to play map 3. It's so much fun playing on stage, especially playing co-ed. So really I just wanted to play more Valorant. I'm not too sad about the loss more than anything. I just really was hoping to go to map 3. So that's a little tragic, but it happens.
I mean, at least we got some overtime, especially in the grand
Mhm.
finals, and having to go back and forth between your team and G2. Just kind of what was going through your mind when you were when that overtime was happening?
I don't know. I was just having fun, honestly. Playing on stage is so much fun. Playing co-ed is so much fun. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. So I was really just enjoying it. Yeah, I don't know. I was just having a really good time.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously you've been competing in these kind of co-ed events, before, such as in Tier 2 and also other events like Spotlight, not all vibes and stuff, but still, like, how does this kind of environment compare to the past events that you've been in that are similar to this?
I think it's definitely like I think a lot of teams are definitely looking at this as like more of a for fun event. So it wasn't like super sweaty. I don't think everyone was like super drilled with their rosters or anything. But it definitely feels really competitive, like playing against people like Jogamo. I mean, that guy was frying, especially on Vine. He was like 35 kills or something. It's just playing against players like that is just another level of competition, and it's just so much fun.
Have you been kind of like having any takeaways or some or more so like lessons from like observing, people like Jogimo and also like Trent Leaf and also everyone else within this competition?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think most of my improvement comes from like watching players outside of competing, like just watching VODs on my own time. Trent is an incredible solo player, so I've watched a lot of Trent VODs. Um, yeah, not too much from like playing against them, but I'm probably gonna end up watching these VODs back and like looking at their POVs more closely.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, like it's a kind of like great way to end the year for you. Sure, you guys lost, but as you said, kind of like you were more so just enjoying the entire experience. But like, yeah, like how'd you kind of like look back on this entire year overall? Kind of dominating game changers, and then moving on from that to here, and just having to and end the year on a relatively high note.
It's been a blast. It's been a really, really good year. Especially sending Floor off to Apex. I think that was kind of our goal was to get Floor developed into a player that could play tier 1 for a long time. Like we all knew she had it in her. And so it's kind of like a very a satisfying, like kind of what's the word, like cathartic end to the year, I guess. Finally changing this roster that's been together for so long in such like a perfect way, I guess, such a poetic way. Does feel pretty good.
I remember like asking a few questions alongside with other media people back in GC Championship, and I believe it was myself or somebody else asked you about what it was like just kind of going through the year for you, and I remember you said like you were basically no lifing the game, playing it like more than 40 hours a week. I mean, like, was it literally just as it was for you the entire year, or more specifically from like GC Championship up until this current event?
Yeah, I think Effie's answered this question a while ago in one of our press conferences. We sort of planned the year around like taking a little break in the summer so we could kind of like not burn out and get some rest. And then after the summer, like the start of GC3 was when we basically just started grinding like 24/7 again, getting ready for champs, obviously making sure we could qual and win GC3. So yeah, it was a long year, but we did get some rest in there. But these last few months have been really exhausting.
Yeah, and and at the very least, like you guys were able to finish that on a relatively high note, as I kind of alluded to earlier on in my questionnaire. And so now focusing on just kind of your career, up until this point, I believe you've had some time to kind of cover what you've done before, joining Shopify slash version one, and then, you know, being a part of a contributing force to the team's dominance in GCC. So, more so now focusing on to your career overall. What essentially enabled you to develop, grow, and become the kind of player that you are right now, in which you basically became like one of the main facilitator behind the likes of Flores and everybody else within the team.
Um, Yeah, I mean, I think I've just been playing games for so long. It's obviously experience to some extent, just dedication, grinding, and all the people in the background, like all the assistant coaches that we've trialed this year, like Odorous and Physic, Effie's, of course. Effie's was like a huge part of my development. Even going all the way back to like coaches on Immortals, like Packing 10 picked me up for Immortals a long time ago. I think all these people have played like a really big role in my development as a player and like how I view the game, how I view practice especially, and how I like dedicate my time. So yeah, I'm really grateful to all those people that have helped me.
Obviously, you won GC champions this year and also dominating NAGC uh, also, and then doing the same thing over in 2023. And then also, as you mentioned, your past teams in Immortals and everything besides that in 2022 and then before that. Where did you kind of like compare? How'd you kind of compare this year, 2024, to all your past years? And also, like, would it be fair to say that this year was like your best one, or if not, then which year was it?
It's hard to say, honestly. Like there are things about this year that I would take over last year, and things about last year that I take over this year. For example, like having such a close BO5 against Liquid in last year's champs was so much fun. This year it kind of felt like we just like rolled through champs. Like I don't think we dropped a map, so it was just I don't know. I would have liked for some closer games in GC, but at the same time, I think we've improved a lot as a team, and the scene has definitely improved too. So like I wouldn't take it as like a knock on GC or anything at all. It's like mostly just a lot of dedication from us. I think our whole team has improved a ton. I would have loved to do more in co-ed. Hopefully next year we can get a chance, depending on, who we manage to pick up, how our roster looks. But yeah, it was a really fun year. It was a good year.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, the fact that your squad was able to dominate in GC for the better part of 2 years and being able to capture consecutive world championship tribe trophies speaks. It's a testament to just kind of how great it was. And obviously, like, people will kind of look at fluorescent for obvious reasons as like the main reason behind why this team was what it was. But where did you kind of look at your contribution? Many people also kind of just forget about the other people such as yourself. And so in the grand scheme of things, behind the grandeur and the greatness of Shopify Rebellion, this past squad, how would you kind of rank it in relation to the other great teams in the pro Valorant scene?
It's to say, I mean, obviously we've had some rough runs in co-ed qualifiers this year, so there's definitely still a ways for us to go. Um, but I think our team has a lot of potential, a lot of skill ceiling. I think outside of fluorescent, everyone on this team is incredible. Um, like the skill ceilings on all of our players are out of this world, and I really hope that one day you can see that all come together.
And for sure, yeah, definitely will be looking forward to seeing what this team does. And so, as we now officially close the chapter onto the 2024 season, for yourself, and now you kind of now for look forward to 2025. What do you feel is going just? What do you think the team, or more so, what do you think you have to focus on in order to build on what you've accomplished this year and also all past years? And then also trying to surpass the mark that you have had in relation to like co-ed tournaments and qualifying for tier 2.
Yeah, I think honestly, we've been saying this for a long time. I feel like the biggest problem for our team is trying to work on raising our skill floor. I think when we are playing well, we're playing really well. But one of our biggest issues is that we kind of have like a lot of ups and downs as a team. So I think working on my own like individual consistency and just our like overall skill floor as a team is like probably what will do the most for us in terms of improving in code, especially like playing these long like 8-hour day qualifiers, three VO3s in a row. That's like something that's just consistency and just grind. So I think that's going to be our biggest focus.
For sure. And one more question before I now wrap it up. It's I mean, like, I lost my train of thought. But with that said, I'm gonna try to wrap it up here. Apologies on that a slight mishap, and so we'll do some little movie magic and cut that out. But nevertheless,
No worries.
Sarah, thank you so much for taking the time. Really do appreciate you giving me a chance for a conversation about yourself, the team, and the future. And so that said, Pedro Romero, Sarah, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.